Hello and welcome to Frank's School. This is the 13th year of Frank's School. This is the 19th day. The first video of today. I'm doing two a day right now actually. And State of the School 2023 is the overall subject here. And this is the 9th video in that series. But warm air furnace heating is where I've turned my attention specifically and intently right now. And I think this is the 8th video in this series. The best furnace ever. I decided to begin to call it that because that furnace over there, I'm convinced, I've never seen a better furnace for my reasons, and I'll continue to try to convince you of that if I can. Other phrases, gravity, if you wanted to search this subject online, gravity furnace, octopus furnace, I keep saying I do not like that because that's like gives you an accurate picture of the way it used to be, but shouldn't be anymore. I want to talk about dust and mold just a little bit here. I said in the last video that if you decided to take the octopus stuff away, take all the ductwork down, and go over to the system I've got, a gravity system, not forced air, no blower, and letting the air simply naturally convect instead of forcing it through these tubes. By gravity, it'll go up the liters because it's hot, and it'll come down the return because that's at the bottom of the furnace. It'll do that. But what fans are introduced, they blow that air to speed it up, and they blow it against the very hot surface of the furnace, which since it's enclosed in sheet metal now, it gets much hotter. If you don't have that, it'll get too hot. I've seen one furnace one time in a scrapyard that had started to actually droop right over because the whole furnace had gotten red hot. Now maybe that was in a house fire, I don't know, but that's what would happen if the fan didn't come in and the fire got out of control. You're blowing on it to try to keep it cool. That's how you're getting that very hot air. That very hot air is very dry air. I'm jumping around here a little bit because it's so hot, it dries that air out and the whole house becomes dry. So what do people do? They use humidifiers. You introduce more fossil fuels, electricity pumps, you put humidifiers to try to get it humid. You're fighting against what the furnace is doing. Now in the summer, when there is no furnace going, when you've got it separated and it's not freely flowing through the house, then you've got too much humidity in the basement. And so what a lot of people do is they put dehumidifiers in the basement, once again using electricity to try to fight against what you've done. Now, I want to mention the stairwell. It becomes a great register, the best of registers, because it's very big, and this is gravity flow. So the warm air in the basement, your basements are going to get very warm. Once you take that ductwork down, the basement is going to get very warm, not hot, but very warm, like a sauna almost. Well, if you open your basement door, if you have one, you open it, you would find that warm air would pour up the top of the stairwell, and down by your knees, the cold air from upstairs would go down those stairs, and it would work to balance it out, which it would do eventually. Now, there is a fire risk to some extent. If you've got a stairwell with no door, there's a certain fire risk there because a fire gets started and it uses the same thing. I mean, that's going to be true really anywhere. I mean, in a way, I'd say the best is just have no door there at all. However, I've got cats down here. My wife does, and son don't want the cats upstairs. So how do I keep them separate? Well, what we have is a very coarse screen door, like, what do you call it, hardware cloth screen door. And it's shut. The cats can't go through, but the air does go through. So I've told you about that. I go fast. I'm going to grab the camera and see if I can walk you over to give you a little better look. Just see if this works. I go fast with these videos because our uploading speed is so slow that I kind of have to. I hope this doesn't end up just making you seasick, but I'll turn that light. I want to give you a better look with better light. My drop what do you call these? My drop light is flickering on and off because of it needs to be rewired. But anyway, I thought I'd just give this a try to give you a peek back in. That's the kidney, is what that's called, on the back, that curved piece. I'll tell you about that. And you can see all these openings that when I laid those blocks up, where the air can come in and the air can go out in order to circulate. I've got these here because, with the humidifying, see the old furnaces, this one doesn't have it on there, they would have a reservoir of water right there, almost like a pouch on a kangaroo, full of water to deal with the humidity. I will end up filling these with water, and I've got one that can go on top as well. That's a better way to deal with the humidity. Let's see if I can. I'm using two hands and my foot. Now back here you can see I'll use this one as well. These are, I think, deep fryer cast. There is the back end of it with the radiator. I'll still do this at another time, but I want to just give you a little glance. I'm always going against the clock because I don't want these videos to be too long. They take all day to upload then. And I'll give you one better look at the back. All right, I think I'm going to quit. Bye for now.